sorry, beam solid angle. Okay, so நேத்து வந்து நம்ம இதில் தான் வந்து ஸ்டாப் பண்ணோம். ஓகே, பீம் சாலிட் ஆங்கிள். Okay, so by definition, what is beam solid angle? Okay, beam solid angle. Okay, so by definition, what is beam solid angle? How much power is radiated in a given direction, in a given angle? Power radiated per unit angle. Okay, total power radiated per unit angle. That's why, so that's why this is solid angle divided by solid angle. Okay. Okay, solid angle. That means this is the practical antenna. This practical antenna is radiating power only with this solid angle. Okay, this is not a two-dimensional angle. This is like a three-dimensional angle. That's why three-dimensional angle we used to mention like a solid angle. Okay, three-dimensional angle we used to mention like a solid angle. So that we used to mention total power transmitted and then total solid angle omega t wt divided by omega a. Okay, so how much power is radiated per unit solid angle? Okay, so அப்போ இந்த இதுதான் வந்து சார் பீம் சாலிட் ஆங்கிள். ஸோ ஓகே, ஸோ இப்போ இதுதான் வந்து பீம் சாலிட் ஆங்கிள். ஸோ த ஆங்கிள் ஓவர் விச் your power is radiated. Okay, for definitely practical antenna will have some solid angle. Isotropic antenna solid angle is 4 pi because isotropic antenna will radiate in all direction. When the antenna radiates in all direction, the solid angle is 4 pi. When it radiates in particular direction, the solid angle is less than 4 pi. See, at any point of time, solid angle is, for practical antenna, the solid angle is less than 4 pi. Okay, for isotropic antenna, the solid angle is very simple, that is 4 pi. So for practical antenna, solid angle is always less than 4 pi. Okay, that is the beam solid angle. Okay, so once if the beam solid angle is less, then beam width will be less. Once if the beam width is less, then say for example I can have a beam a solid angle, very less beam solid angle. Then if the beam width is less, then it will go far distance. Okay, the radiation will be extended, the value of the radiation, the value will increase. Okay, at a particular place the value will increase. That means what? You can extend your range, you can extend your range. Okay, so that's the idea of directivity. So once your beam width decreases, then directivity increases. Okay, okay, next one is half power beam width. Okay, half power beam width. Say I am having again in the half power beam width, இதெல்லாம் measure பண்ணும்போது we will come to the 2D angle, sir. Okay, whenever you are measuring half power beam width or beam width between the first null, then we will be in a 2D plane. That 2D plane could be anything. It may be vertical plane or it may be horizontal plane. Okay, so you are in some plane, either vertical or horizontal. Then you, and again, once if you are given with the radiation pattern, what is constant? Your range, your R is constant. Okay, you are at constant distance. Then you are keep on moving in a rotational manner. Then once if you are in this direction, you'll get maximum radiation. Once if you go, see, here transmitter is there, here receiver is there. When you are changing your direction, the energy, the power that you are receiving is getting decreased. That's why you are getting decreased power. That's why the diagram goes like this. Okay, when you come exactly here, you are getting no power. When you go in this direction, then you will not get any power. In this direction, you will not get any power. Then once if you start from here, then once if you go in this direction, then your received power increases. That's the idea of this diagram, radiation pattern. So then how to find out the half power beam width? Okay, how to point out the how to measure the half power beam width. Say if I am getting 10 watt here, then if I keep on going, definitely at some point I will get 5 watt. Okay, because I am having some realistic antenna, receiving antenna. If I get 10 watt here, definitely, see, I am not going to near to the antenna. Where I will be standing? Actually, I will be standing here. So because my R is constant, but what is the power received to me? 5 watt. That's why I am denoting here. Okay, it doesn't mean that I am standing here. Actually, I am standing here. Initially, I was standing here. Then I changing my direction. Now I stand here, but the power received by me is less than 10 watt. That's why I'm mentioning here. Okay, because this is like a full radius. This is like a half radius. Okay, similarly, once if I move in this direction, I am going in a rotational manner. Once if I come there, then I will get 5 watt power. So that's why here it is there. So I will connect this point, these 2 points. I will draw the line. Then I will measure the angle between this. This is called a half power beam width. Okay, this is called half power beam width. Okay, sometime instead of power, they may give the electric field also. Okay, sometime instead of power, they will give electric field. Then how to measure? Okay, once if it is electric field, you are getting some electric field here. Then you will get roughly, once if you go here, you stand here, then you will get E divided by root 2. Okay, once if it is an electric field, then this is simply E divided by root 2. If it is a power, that is 1 by 2. Okay, similarly in this direction also, once if you come here, then you will receive E by root 2. So that means what? Whether you measure your electric field or power, the beam width is always constant. Half power beam width is always constant. Okay, then how to measure the beam width between the first null or full beam width? Okay, beam width between the nulls or full beam width. Say, and if first I was here, then I came here. Okay, in the rotational manner I am going. When I stand here, I am not at all receiving the power. In the first case, I got 10 watt here. Here I got 5 watt. Here I am getting 0 watt. Then I am not getting the power. So previously I got some power, 0.1 watt. Exactly at this point, okay, I'm getting 0 watt. Once if I move further, here also I'm getting 0 watt. That's okay. Then here also I'm 0 watt. But once if we go in this direction, then my power increases. Here 0 watt, here 1 watt, here 2 watt, like that it increases. Then when you are going from maximum radiation, okay, to the minimum radiation, then you have to note down the point where you are getting 0 radiation. Okay, so in this direction you are getting 0 radiation. That means what? How you have to draw actually? See, and again you may have a doubt here. See, the 0 watt will come here itself. Okay, 0 watt will come here itself, because just you have to draw the tangent line to this diagram. Okay, tangent line to this diagram. Then and again you have to measure. Okay, you draw the tangent line to this main lobe. Then you measure the angle between them. Then that will give you the full null beam width. That will give you the full null beam width. Then suppose if your radiation pattern is entirely circle, okay, if the radiation pattern is entirely circle, then what is the full null beam width? It is simply the tangent line is this only. For this also this only. So again, your full null beam width is like 180 degree, but this shape is really different, because so that's why here itself that tangent line is coming. Okay, that's how to measure the off power points or beam width between the first null, beam width between the first null. Here these part and all called side lobes, sir. This part is called side lobes or minor lobes. Okay, see, if your antenna is radiating say 100 watt power, see, totally you are having 100 watt power. Out of 100 watt, most of the power will be concentrated on this direction, sir. Okay, remaining power will be concentrated on the side lobes. Okay, again some power may be concentrated exactly in the opposite direction. Okay, this 1 watt power will be available in the side lobes. Okay, so we have to, in future, we have to try to reduce the side lobes. That's why once we try to reduce the side lobes, that power will be concentrated on the main lobe, so that the directivity of the main lobe will be increased, so that the directivity of the main lobe will increase. Okay. Okay, we'll go to next. How to measure the radiation intensity? See, I am having some power I am having, say 10 watt power is having total power. I am radiating. Okay, I am radiating here. See, my R is constant. I am moving on the constant circle. Then what is the received power? Once if it is isotropic antenna, then wherever you go on the surface of the sphere, then you will get uniform power. That means how much power is radiated per unit angle. That is really the radiation intensity. Okay, so what is radiation intensity? By definition, radiation intensity the total power radiated per unit solid angle, total power radiated per unit. So in this case, in the first case, the total power is 10 watt, it is radiated over 4 pi, so then the solid angle is, solid angle is 4 pi, then this is the radiation intensity. This is the radiation intensity. That means what? I form some surface here so that my solid angle is 1. If I form surface here so that my surface area is what, some r square, then I know how much power will come. I know because per unit solid angle this much power is coming, then how much solid angle you are making. Say if I am exactly making one solid angle, definitely I will get this power. Okay, then how much solid angle you are having? 4 pi solid angle. Then finally, once if you go around all the surface, then you'll get 10 watt power. That's the idea of the solid angle. See how the power is concentrated in a particular direction that is given by the solid angle. Okay, now here also I am moving in the same manner. Here also I am moving like this only. But how my power is concentrated? My power is concentrated only in this direction. That means what? When I am in this area, in this direction, I will get the more power, more power. That means what? Same power, same 10 watt power, I am concentrating on particular direction. I am concentrating on particular direction. Then the radiation intensity increases. Again, you see the radiation intensity on all other direction is 0. Okay, you are, that means what? At the cost of not radiating in other direction, you are radiating entire power in a particular direction. Okay, that, okay, you are not, okay, so you are not increasing the radiation intensity in all direction. Okay, see, in other direction you are not at all radiating, but in a particular direction you are radiating because your communication equipment may be here. Okay, because your communication equipment is there, you are radiating only in the direction. Okay, so the radiation intensity is like this. Then how to measure the radiation intensities? Now also the radiation intensity is 10 watt. Then really you have to know what is the solid angle. It is a 3-dimensional quantity. You have to measure what is the solid angle. Okay, the maximum solid angle is 12. Okay, roughly. Then your solid angle may be 2, 3, something, anything may be there. It's like a number. Then your radiation intensity will increase in the particular direction. Okay, radiation intensity will increase. Again, where you will get maximum gain, here you will get maximum gain, here you will get lesser gain, here you will get 0 gain. That is the idea of the antenna gain. That is the idea of the antenna gain. How to measure the antenna gain here? It is very simple, sir. The measuring antenna gain is here. Here you are having some U average, that we call it as a U average, because you measure here or you measure anywhere else, everywhere the U average is same. But once if you measure, if you stand here, if you measure your U, that will be really maximum. That is the directivity. Okay, with the practical antenna, what is my maximum radiation intensity? With the isotropic antenna, what is my radiation intensity? What is the difference? What is the ratio? That is the directivity. Then what is the directive gain? Because the directive gain can be anything. That time the U practical divided by U average. Okay, U practical can be anything, because in this direction this is maximum. When I move away from this direction, then it is decreasing. When I really go in other direction, your directive gain may become 0. That means what? Your transmitting antenna radiating in this direction. If you keep your receiving antenna here, you will not receive any power. You will receive 0 watt power. Okay, that is the idea of the practical antenna. Okay, next is difference broadside and end fire array. Okay, so this is the example for first one is example for broadside array. First one is example for end fire. I think they have given the diagram wrongly. I think they have made some mistake in the diagram. It looks like that, because the criss-cross lines will come for only end fire, but for end fire you'll get the radiation like this. The diagram, some problem is there. Okay, so but as for the radiation point of view, this is end fire, this is broadside array, this is the axis of the array. Okay, because this is the axis of the array. If a radiation pattern is along the array axis, if a radiation pattern is along the array axis, then that is end fire array. If it is perpendicular to the array axis like this, then it is broadside array. For broadside array, your current of the antennas are same, no phase difference. Okay, no phase difference. Here for end fire array, currents are same, but phase difference will be there. That phase difference is 5. For practical antenna, if you use the spacing between the antenna lambda by 2, then you have to really use some alpha. That alpha value is pi. In general, psi value is beta d cos theta. Okay, beta d cos theta plus alpha in general psi value is for either broadcast or end fire, this is psi. And array factor, how much gain you are getting, that is equal to sin n psi by 2 divided by sin psi by 2. That means what, roughly n times gain you may get, the maximum n time gains you may get. That is the idea in case of arrays. Okay, here they have shown little bit clearly. Okay, see, this is the array axis. Your radiation pattern is perpendicular to the array axis. When it is broadside array, you can have radiation in the upward as well as in the downside also. So here the radiation pattern is perpendicular to the array axis. That means this is what, broadside array. That means this is what, broadside array. Okay, so now here the radiation pattern, this is like end fire array. End fire array. This is your axis of the array. Okay, then the radiation pattern is along the array axis. Then this is called end fire array. Okay, end fire array. And this is not the only way to get the end fire array. Sometimes you will get the end fire array in this direction also. Okay, that will be shown in the next diagram. Okay, and again, in which direction you are getting, you will get the end fire array either in this direction or in this direction. That will be controlled by you only, because you are providing the best, you are providing the phase difference. Okay, that, okay, based on the phase difference, you will get end fire array in any one of the direction. Okay, it is not necessarily to be always in the right side, it can be in the left side also. Now you are getting end fire array in this direction, because you might have seen always plus or minus beta d, because you got the condition for end fire array alpha is equal to plus or minus beta d. Whenever it is plus or minus beta d, you can use either plus 5 or minus 5. Okay, then based on that you may get a direction in. Okay, and again the plus 5 and minus 5 mathematically it is same, because both are indicating 180 degree only, but from in which way you are coming. Okay, so in some time you can get the end fire array, and again radiation in the opposite direction also, possibilities there. Okay, again we see the smart antenna. Okay, yes sir, are you all seeing this? I am having multiple antennas. Okay, multiple antennas. This is like antenna arrays. I am having multiple antennas. Now for my antenna, I am providing some current. Okay, some current, and also I am providing some phase shift. See here, phase shift is provided. Now I can control the phase shift of the antenna, because this is in my hand. Gamma is equal to beta d cos theta plus alpha. So when gamma is 0, you'll get the maximum, you will get the direction of maximum radiation. So theta is also in my hand. So I can choose theta. Okay, so what is the direction I want? I can put it here. Then based on that, I can compute alpha. Okay, that alpha is like a phase difference to the exciting antenna. It's like a theta here. So that alpha is like a phase excitations. Okay, so I can choose my theta. Theta means in our discussion that is the direction. Okay, in which direction we want maximum radiation. Okay, I can choose any direction from 0 to 360 degree. Then based on that I will get alpha. Once if I know alpha, alpha is like beta d minus beta d cos theta. So everything is in my hand. So I can decide what is d, what is theta, then I can choose what is alpha. Okay, if I provide that phase difference to the antenna, progressive phase difference, then this antenna will give maximum radiation in the desired direction. Okay, maximum radiation in the desired direction. That's the idea. Clear theory, sir. Radiation is going in the desired direction, not exactly horizontal, not exactly vertical. It is going somewhere like this. Yes, anyone visible?
Yes, sir.
This is an example of smart antenna. That means what, electrically you can vary your parameters of the antenna so that you can steer your beam. Mechanically, you are not varying your antenna position. Electrically, you can vary your antenna parameters like a phase and a phase of the excitation and current excitation, current value of the excitation. Then you can change the maximum radiation in any direction you want. That is the concept of smart antenna. Okay. And I will show you some video how the radiation pattern of smart antenna is there. Once again, I will play. See, the radiation pattern is sharing. And when the radiation pattern is changing, you observe the phase difference. You observe the phase difference. See, when the radiation pattern is changing, phase difference is also changing, because you cannot simply vary the direction of radiation, because it can be varied only by changing the excitation phase. Okay, so I will play one more time. You observe here as well as here. You are changing your excitation phase, that is alpha, then it is changing your direction of maximum radiation. It is changing your direction of maximum radiation. Okay. Next one is horn antenna. Okay, so see, this is E-plane horn antenna. This is like E-plane horn antenna. Whenever you have E-plane horn antenna is the extension of the waveguide. You are already having the waveguide. If you flare one side of the waveguide, then you will get the horn antenna. Then in which direction you are flaring? Okay, see, this is your regular waveguide. Okay, now you are flaring in this direction, like from top to bottom you are flaring. Okay, once if you are flaring in that direction, then particular antenna is called E-plane antenna. Then why it is called as E-plane antenna? In general, an antenna, the electric field will be in a perpendicular direction, the magnetic field will be in a horizontal direction. Okay, so once if you flare in the direction of electric field, because you observe here, the electric field is going up. So once if you flare in the direction of electric field, then that is called as E-plane antenna. Okay, once if you flare in the direction of electric field, then that is E-plane antenna. Or otherwise, if you do the flaring in other direction, say here you are flaring in the horizontally. Okay, here you are done the flaring from top to bottom. Here you are doing it in the sides. Okay, like a left to right. So once if you flare in the direction of magnetic field, then that is called as H-plane antenna. H-plane antenna. Or otherwise, you can do the flaring in both the direction. Okay, both from left to right as well as from top to bottom. If you do the flaring, then it will look like this. Then that is called as pyramidal horn antenna. That is called as pyramidal horn antenna. Next one is conical horn antenna. Once if you flare your circular waveguide, okay, in the circular manner, if you extend like this, then this is circular horn antenna. Okay, somebody tell me what is the need of flaring here? I don't know whether you are remembering or not. Why you have to flare the antenna? If you do not flare, what will happen?
73 ohms. To satisfy 73 ohms.
Not 73 ohms, sir. To satisfy the impedance of the free space. Already this waveguide is having some impedance, sir. I don't know what is the impedance of the waveguide. Now I know the air impedance is like a 377 ohm. So I have to flare in such a way my on antenna edge impedance is like 377 ohm. Then only whatever the power, the maximum power that is coming outside the antenna will be carried to the free space. Okay, to make the impedance matching. Why flaring is done? Please remember always why flaring is done, for impedance matching. Why flaring is done? Impedance matching. Impedance matching. Then one more question they'll ask in the exam. Why horn antenna is used? Where horn antenna will be used? Horn antenna enga sir use பண்றாங்க? Okay, we are having several other antennas. In which case horn antenna will be used?
Microwave signal, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's okay. Horn antenna is used in microwave, but in which case? We have mata antenna use பண்ண முடியாதா? Why in some cases we are using horn antenna? Okay, please check it out. I think it can handle the larger power. Your antenna can handle the larger power as compared to other microwave antenna. Then in those cases, we are using an antenna. Please check it out. I'm not sure. Okay, I think that could be the answer. Okay, why an antenna is used in specifically in some cases. Okay, so next one is parabolic dish. Okay, so here in this diagram, it is clearly shown signal is coming from the satellite. Okay, then all are reading on the parabolic dish. Okay, curved shape, curved surface. When the signal comes here, comes here, all are finally entering here. Almost. That means what? You are collecting all the energy, you are focusing on a single point. Okay, you are collecting all the energy, you are focusing on a single point. Why you have to do like this? Because for other antennas, we are not using this shape. Okay, see, we are having mobile antenna and some other antenna, FM, AM like that. Angela, when நம்ம இதை use பண்ணல, then why particularly we are using here dish antenna? In case of DTH, why we are using dish antenna? Anybody? Yes, sir. DTH dish antenna use பண்றோம். For other communication, we are not using. What is the need of using dish antenna? Why can't we use other antennas here?
High gain.
High gain, yes. Okay, high gain, directivity. So directivity is very, very high gain. And another important thing is collection of power. Okay, power வந்து long distance இருந்து வருது. Okay, power வந்து long distance. எவ்வளவு distance சொன்ன? 36,000 kilometerல இருந்து வருது. Okay, then how much reduction will be there? Directivity என்னதான் இருந்தாலும் definitely some reduction will be there. ஏன்னா some distance travel ஆகுது. Okay, so some directivity is there. Your directivity is not infinite. Some directivity is there. So definitely some power reduction definitely will be there as it propagates. So, and again, distance travel on both, finally only reach our power will be very, very less. Okay, power is very, very less. That's why you are collecting the power and focusing. Okay, you are increasing your power. Okay, you are collecting the power and increasing. See, olden days la paathirupinga, even from the sun energy, if you have some glass, I don't know what is the name of the glass, then you will focus the sunlight on a particular place. Okay, if you keep some paper here, that paper will burn. That means what? Ordinary வந்து sunல இருந்து வர இது வச்சு நம்ம பேப்பர் எரிய வைக்க முடியாது. But if you use some specific glass, what it is doing, it is focusing. When it is focusing, that energy, heat energy increases, then it is burning. Okay, similarly, the power level is very, very less, but to make it high, you are focusing. You are doing focusing. That is the idea of the dish antenna. That is the idea of the dish antenna. Then you take this exercise at what power the satellite is radiating. What is the total power radiated by the communication satellite? Okay, what is the gain of the satellite antenna? Okay, you know this much distance that is traveling. What is the loss? Okay, what is the gain of the receiving antenna? What is the directivity, gain or directivity of the receiving antenna? What is the received power level? Okay, what is the received power level? Okay, before focusing, how much power you are receiving here, finally you are focusing. Okay, then what is the received power effectively just after multiplying with your effective aperture area? அதெல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு கால்குலேஷன் போட்டு பாருங்க பாப்போம். Okay, just you see it in the internet. In reality, then you will understand really what is really happening in the system. Okay, the last one is polarization in the satellite antenna. ஏற்கனவே உங்களுக்கு சொல்லியிருக்கேன், the definition of polarization is different for satellite. ஏன்னா நம்ம ஆர்டினரியா இருக்கும் பொழுது டிரான்ஸ்மிட்டர் ரிசீவரும் சேம் பிளேன்ல இருக்கும். பட் சாரி, ஆர்டினரியா இருக்கும் பொழுது டிரான்ஸ்மிட்டர் ரிசீவர் சேம் பிளேன்ல இருக்கும். பட் சேட்டலைட் கம்யூனிகேஷன்ல டிரான்ஸ்மிட்டர் வந்து எர்த்ல இருக்கு. ஓகே, டிரான்ஸ்மிட்டர் வந்து எர்த்ல இருக்கு, ஸ்பேஸ்ல வந்து சேட்டலைட் இருக்கு. That means what? Your direction of communication is really different. Okay, it is completely on the different plane. Okay, when it is completely on the different plane, then how to define the polarization? When it is completely on the different plane, then how to define the polarization? That is very simple. You connect the dish with the satellite, you make one line. Okay, you make one line like this. Okay, then this is the connection between the satellite and dish. If your electric field is in this direction, or it can go in this direction also, if it is keep on varying in this direction, because this is the direction of propagation, and if your electric field varies in this direction, then that is which polarization, sir? Horizontal or vertical? Anybody? Please tell
Vertical,
me.
sir.
Yes, vertical. So this polarization is vertical. If it varies like this, then this is horizontal. That is the concept of polarization. And also you can extend that to the circular polarization. It go like this, or otherwise it can go like this in anti-clockwise or clockwise. Let it be anything. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, so and one more concept is there in satellite. See, you now you understood what is horizontal or horizontal and vertical polarization. Why we are particularly using circular polarization in satellite? In general, we are using circular polarization in satellite. Why? Because, say for example, you are using vertical antenna here. In satellite also, say assume you are using vertical antenna. That's okay. Now what happened? You will transmit